Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing good and I'm also doing great. So talking about the today's video, as I've already provided the last update 7 days ago about the index trading. As if you remember, this was the trading statistics of which I provided in the last update, which was from 1st April 2023 to 25th April 2023. So today I would like to discuss a few points that I have. Firstly, like in this screen, you can see. First, I would like to provide an update for today. Today is a very special day. Also, because of it's the biggest profitable day for me, and I would like to talk a few points about it, not just about the boasting of the profits making, also about that mindset factor as well. Also, along with it, why it was a special day. There was a specific release of the news related to interest rate hikes. As you can see the headlines over here, Fed increases the rates a quarter point and signals a potential end to hike. So yeah, that was the point. And still the markets went down as I thought it would go. So because of that one, it was a special day. Secondly, I would like to provide an update on the past 5 6 days of trading, like past 6 days update to be exact, from 26th April to 3rd May. And also not just about the profits point, I would also like to talk about the remaining points. Firstly, which is the problem with the trading mindset that I still have, the fear factor of exactly you can say losing the open profits or going into the negative territory. So that's one of the point that I want to talk about. And a very important point is the balance between conviction and reckless trading. And I would like to also show you a real example about it, which happened with me in the past 5 6 days exactly. Lastly, I would like to talk about euphoria, that the euphoric mindset, which states that yeah, do anything what you want, nothing can go wrong. So just want to talk about like whether it's right or wrong for trading and my thoughts on it. So before starting, like I would like to also show you that transaction history and the statistics which I have pulled it out from 26th of April, sorry, to 3rd May till date. You can see over here, this is that close timing of the trade, close dates. This is the product which I traded, and mostly it is the US indices which I did traded. And this is the quantity, like for a easy referencing, if I say this is the quantity which I traded. Just a point about the quantity, I traded very huge quantity, and it's not because I made a lot of points on it. It's the profits are mostly because of the huge quantity which I traded. And I would like to talk both the aspects of it, like when it goes right and if it goes wrong, what happens. And these are the open timings of the trade and opening and closing prices, as you can see over here. Just a second, let me adjust it for your easy viewing. So now talking about, this is the profit and loss and the account balance, which currently stood at 2604. This is all being done in US dollars, and these 2 points I have additionally calculated. Firstly is the trade time, like what's the exact trade time for each trade, and what's the number of points which I made or lost. And there's relatively, I would like to say that not some good statistics for these 2 points, which I hope to progress it in the going future. So let's start. Firstly, about the trading update for today. Like even if I show you through this transaction history, this is the number of trades like which I conducted for today. These are the total number of trades are 6. And if I talk about that profit, this is the biggest profitable day for me, and I made 527.55, like around $527 for the day. And mostly you can see like even before the release of the news, I made around $128 for the day, and this one I got it by shorting the Dow specifically at the time of the news release. It can be dangerous as well, it can go in our favor as well. Yeah, so I made it around 40 points on the Dow, I think exactly 39.9 points on the Dow to be exact. So that's the trading update for today. But if I talk about like how that profits got accumulated or the strategy behind it, specifically you can see over here I was trading huge quantities since the beginning, like 20 quantities in US Tech 100, 11 quantities in Dow 2020, and this one is just a very small quantity which I tried just to place before the news, just to gauge like how the market is exactly performing. It is just like a, you can say, a water fight before a holy session. Like we just want, like, once, yeah, initially we are afraid of the water, and once we do get wet, and then we say, leave it, I'm anyways gonna get into it. So that's why it's just a, you can say, a trial trade. And then again I shorted Dow on 10 quantities, so huge quantities today. And absolutely you can see even in the past days as well, I have been trading like 3, 5, 10. These are absolutely huge quantities. The general quantity is either 0.5, 1 or 2 quantities. 10, 11, 20s, these are absolutely huge quantities, and it can swing any way, either in our favor or against. That depends, like, upon a lot of factors, upon the mindset and the techniques of the trading that we apply. So specifically, like, if I talk about the past 6 days of trading, this is the total PNL. As you can see, the total over here is 1258. That's the total profit which I made in the past 6 days, 1258. I have also stated the stats of it. You can see over here, that's the trade period, 6 days, from 26th April to 3rd May. Total number of trades is 39, so average trade comes to 6.5. This is relatively better than the previous average. If I tell you that, you can see in the previous video I have stated that the average trades which I conducted was 12 trades per day, which I've reduced to 6.5 trades. I've always seen that whenever I do, you can say, trade less for any particular day and be very specific in the trade selection, then it tends to favor me. And yeah, I'm able to make good on the day. And if I talk about the figures, this is the opening capital as on 26th of April, and this is the balance as of now. So that's the profit for the past 6 days, around. And today is the biggest one, like as I told you already. This is mostly because of the trading the news event, which is the Fed interest rate hike, although it had a negative impact. So that's about the statistics, and also I've stated the trading problems which I faced, and currently it's the same problems which I'm facing in the past as well. I would like to talk it more about it. So if we go about the trading problems now specifically, like, also before going into trading problems, I would like to show you that account, that this is the TD365 account through which I trade, and you can see the account balance as well, 2604. If I go into the transaction history now, you can see the last trade was the shorting the Dow futures, exactly the CFD contract, not the futures. So that's the PNL for that trade specifically. I captured around 40 points on the Dow. That's not a big move, and yeah, Dow is trading pretty lower than what I shorted. If you can see the figure, like I shorted at 33,673. I closed it at this level, and currently you can see this Wall Street 30, that's the Dow, and it is trading around 33,520. So it is trading way lower than where I closed. So I could have made a lot, I mean a very huge sum on it, but still we need to consider the risk factor as well, and considering all the scenarios being the news specific events and the volatile movements today, I just decided to stay happy with it and close it for the day. So that was the intent. And now moving forward to the trading problems, if going to the second point, like the fear factor, like I've already observed that generally I'm very quick in taking profits, and generally I tend to wait in case of losses, that yeah, the trade will swing in my favor again. And I have seen the couple of instances in these past 6 days as well. I would surely talk about it in detail. Just give me a couple of minutes. So just some stats around it. Like maximum trade time, you can see in one trade took the trade, and basically I was being in the trade for whole 4 hours and 53 minutes, around 5 hours. And how much did I made? $32. And actually, if I tell you the backstory of it, and that trade actually went in negative for me, and it went in around. Actually, I shorted both the Dow and shorted. Sorry. I bought it. Yeah, I bought the Dow and the Nasdaq both, and it went against me for around I think $1,000 for the day. So even if it went against $1,000, still I was holding that trade. And now you will think like either I am totally reckless or either I am so, you can say as having a strong conviction like why I hold the trade. And if I you want to know my response, I'm actually somewhere like not having the full conviction, because I think like no one can have the perfect conviction like this market is going to do specific this trading level and touch this trading level and do this specific task and trade like this way in coming few minutes. Like anyone, yeah, sure, anyone can analyze it over the past 1 2 3 years through the fundamental analysis, but no one can predict it exact a point to point basis, I think. Like yeah, and some people are do genuine genius as well, I've seen. So except those guys. So if I talk about the minimum trade time, that's 3 seconds. So in 3 seconds I entered a trade, decided it like when I wanted to close it, and I'm getting the profits, I'm closing it. So in those 3 seconds I closed the trade as well, and yeah, the profit was 131.4 for that trade, which I took for 3 seconds only. If I talk about the average trade time, it's 26 seconds. So generally now you can see I stay in trade up for a very short duration. So that's one of the points which I would like to improve, because yeah, staying long also gives very huge profits as well sometimes. That depends if you are staying in the right swing direction or not. So that's the problem. Like you can see relatively very small profits I'm generating as per the quantity traded. Like if I show you the transaction history again, you can see like I have in the past traded 20 quantities on the Nasdaq, and how much I am making, $26. So it's just only 1 point exactly. If I talk about the number of points made, 1.3 points in this specific trade, 4 points in this specific trade. So I shorted 18 quantities, and how much did I made? 7 points in this trade. And index of this value, like if I tell specifically index of this value 13 to 26, it can easily swing 40 50 60 points if you want to handle it properly and make it some good points on it. So that's the problem which I want need to improve the going future. If I talk about a conviction in reckless trading, this third point I specifically want to talk about that trade which went against me, like this specific trade. As I told that this trade went against $1,000, and still I was in the trade having the strong conviction that yes, it will turn into my favor. And yes, it did turn into my favor. Although at that time it was quite late, and I didn't want to carry forward the trade to the next day. So that's why I did close the trade, although I was very much sure that it will come into positive again for me. And yes, the next day it came into positive territory as well, but still I closed on the same day by booking a small loss of $32.4 on that particular trade. If I talk about the balance between conviction and reckless trading, it should be something like I feel that yes, absolutely you should have a strong conviction, otherwise you cannot withstand the markets. Absolutely you cannot withstand the markets. You should be having a strong conviction, I feel. But at the same time you should be mindful that yes, this markets can do anything, and you should be able to accept the opposite view as well. So that's what I think, and that's where the difference between conviction and reckless trading is. So in this particular trade, yeah, it was reckless, I would like to yeah, surely call it as reckless, because $1,000 is a very huge figure for an account of around $2,000. At that time I think account was around 1,800 or $2,000 at during which it swinged against $1,000 for me. So around 50% of that account portfolio, if you are willing to lose it in one trade, that's not how I would like to trade in the future. That surely I need to improve as one of the points. Now, talking lastly about the euphoria, just a general call out, like when you make a continuous profits over a number of days. I believe that some of you might have made it in the past as well, and you might have the same thoughts on it. And some you tend to feel like, yes, nothing can go wrong, and whatever I do, I'm absolutely right always. So, what's my call on it? Is it right or wrong for trading? Is euphoric mind good or not? What I feel is like, I think euphoric mind is good because it helps to exponentially grow your account. But at the same time, you should be absolutely careful about the risk management part as well. Like, because if I tell you specifically about these 5 6 days, the risk management was absolutely fine, I think. But sometimes in few of the trades, like wherein I stayed for very long duration, the risk management got very poor, and yeah, absolutely I let the trade swing against me for around $1,000, or either around 200 or $300 at sometimes as well, or $400 sometimes. So that's the poor risk management, I think. And so surely I need to improve it. So that's the euphoric state of mind. It is absolutely good, and I think one should be having a state of mind, stay clearing, stating, yeah, having these thoughts, like, yes, absolutely, you have the conviction, you have all the knowledge, and you are playing it based on your knowledge and the past experience. But what I feel is like, absolutely, you should be mindful of the risk management. You shouldn't be like putting all the, you can say, all the trades, all the bets in one go. So that's what I think it might can go wrong against us. So that's few of the points which I think I need to improve. And yeah, that's the trading update for the past week and today. Hope you like it. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Also, if you'd like to know specific something about the markets, like, also, yeah, I know that I'm not talking technically about these tradings. Like in the past video as well, I haven't talked about much about the technicals, like how did I actually trade, what was the rationale behind buying and the rationale behind selling, like why I took a specific trade, why I exited a specific trade. I know that I haven't found time to do it. Sorry for that, and will try to surely do it as well. So, as to give you a glimpse of like what's the thinking that actually goes behind all of this. So, hope you like it. And if you have any questions, please let us know. So, thank you. See you next time.